the appointed hour, I call this meeting to order. Could we have the roll call?
George Brake.
Here.
Peggy Broadway.
Here.
James Woods.
Here.
Ruth Cox.
Here.
Christian Evans.
Here.
Joe Klotz.
Here.
James Bisbee.
Here.
Trip here.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Regarding the minutes, do we have a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes?
So moved. Second.
Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The favors win. Are there any changes or corrections that need to be made to the minutes that anyone wants to bring forth? Okay. Can I call for an approval of the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Favors win. As an introduction to the hearing, the Historic Preservation Commission is a public commission appointed by the City of New Bern's Board of Aldermen. It is responsible for preserving and safeguarding New Bern's locally designated historic districts, downtown and Riverside, based on U.S. Department of Interior standards, state statutes, city ordinances, and New Bern's historic guidelines. Two of the major tasks of the HPC include approving applications for a certificate of appropriateness and preventing demolition of historic structures due to neglect. The HPC holds a quasi-judicial hearing on an application for a certificate of appropriateness. The Commission hears sworn testimony and evidence provided by the applicant, by parties who received notice of the hearing, and by others who can justify that they have relevant evidence and are directly affected by the application. The Commission cannot consider comments based on personal likes or dislikes, hearsay, or personal opinion that cannot be directly related to specific historic guidelines. Likewise, commissioners shall refrain from stating personal opinion, personal likes or dislikes, or hearsay during a hearing. The Commission's decision on an application is based solely on testimony and evidence presented at a hearing that directly relates to the historic guidelines. Anyone who intends to give testimony or speak today needs to be sworn in. So if you will come forward over here if you wish to do that.
Do you swear to tell the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Thanks.
Here's a summary of the process that we will use today. The HPC administrator provides an overview of the application. The applicant and representative presents the application. Proponents and opponents who receive notice of the hearing shall present evidence. Rebuttal is allowed by the applicant and by proponents and opponents who receive notice. Others can justify that they have relevant information and will be directly affected can present evidence. The HPC administrator presents the staff's findings and recommendations. The applicant representative has an opportunity to make final comments on their application. Commissioners discuss the evidence and may ask for clarification from the applicant or presenters. The chairman calls for a motion to approve or deny the application with stated findings of fact. The motion is discussed by the commissioners. The chairman calls for a vote on the motion by the commission. The COA can be approved with conditions, or denied. So, sir, would you like to start with the first application?
Actually, could we please rearrange the schedule just a little bit? We're having some technical difficulties with the computer, and it's currently rebooting. So if we could move to the election of officers and just handle that on the front end while we're waiting for the computer to get back online so we can display everything correctly for the hearings. That's fine.
Okay, so the election of the HPC chair and vice chair shall take place at the first regular meeting in July unless the commission votes to delay elections of officers by a majority vote. And we did decide to do that at the last meeting because not all the commissioners were here. So nominations can be made by the chair and from the floor. Either method can be used. Nominations do not require a second, however, a second can be made. A nominee may rise and decline a nomination if desired. A member may nominate themselves if they so desire. Nominations and votings are held for each office as they are put forth. So nominations for the chair can be completed, then there will be voting for the vice chair. So, shall we get on with, start with the chair? Is there a nomination for the chair?
I nominate Dr. Ruth Cox for chairman.
Is there a second? Okay. Any other nominations? Okay. Let us vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? There are none. So, Dr. Ruth Cox is now the chair. Okay? All right?
You look comfortable up there.
Thank you very much. Okay? I hope this is going to go on long enough for you to get your computer stuff straightened
I
out.
don't know if it will because it's about halfway there. There was
Okay.
some issue.
For the vice chair, is there a nomination for the vice chair? Tripp. Tripp, yours been nominated? There's no second? There's a second? All right, is there anybody else who wants to put forth a nomination? Seeing none, let us vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? There are none, so, Mr. Urick, you're the vice chair.
All right.
Okay. So nominations are done.
Okay, maybe.
Is your computer working
Let
now?
me see.
Brad, you gotta watch out. Dr. Ruth doesn't mess around.
Now, we could get up and dance and do a little show if you want us to.
Could we, for item B on the agenda, 215 Pollock Street, staff would like to request a continuation. Could we perhaps do that while we wait?
Okay? So does that requires a motion to do that, does it
That does
not?
require a motion from the
Okay.
board to, if you could open the hearing on 215 and then entertain any potential motions as to continuing.
Okay. Well, let us start with item B then on the agenda, which is 215 Pollock Street. And staff has asked that we have a continuation of that item. Would someone like to put forth that idea?
So move.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none. The 215 Pollock Street will be heard at a later date.
Could we get
think you have
the
to pick a
specific date? The
specific-
next regular meeting is fine?
At the next regular meeting.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if you had a particular time when you wanted it heard.
No, the next meeting should suffice.
Should suffice for that?
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So the computer crashed and is trying to repair itself on reboot right now. I don't know if we'll get it back online, and I don't have printouts of all the pictures for the remaining application. So we can discuss it as far as we can and continue it, or we can just continue it. But I don't know that we have enough information available to review to make a complete decision. Could we perhaps have a 10-minute recess to see if we can get if the computer will come back, or
I move that we go to a 10-minute recess for technical difficulties.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
thank you.
So we will reconvene around a little bit after
It's 5:50.
5:55. Okay, so at this point, 10 minutes have gone by, and the computer system is still itself not up and running, but the HPC administrator believes that he has enough information that he can share with us so that the commission has an idea, a clear idea of what the applicant is asking to be done. And he's going to share this through the overhead. Is that correct, Bradley?
Yes, that's correct.
So we are now back in order, and if you would give us an overview of this application of 501 Metcalf Street.
Sure. So the application for 501 Metcalf Street is an application to replace an existing damaged standing seam metal roof with an architectural shingle roof, as well as to do a couple other minor add-ons for the front, for one of the front entries there. The applicant's here to speak if you want to hear from him.
Okay? Are there any conflicts of interest regarding this application from the commissioners?
I received a letter regarding this application because I own a property kind of catty-cornered to this property on New Street.
So you need to recuse yourself?
I guess so. I don't live there, but I
Yes.
guess I,
If you
after all
got,
that
if
looks
you
like
got a
getting
letter.
me in, I guess I need to get out.
Yes, if you got a letter, yeah.
So,
Okay, is there a motion to do such?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, if you want to go sit in the audience.
I'm so sorry.
Are there any issues by any of the commissioners on completeness of the application or any issues in the application? Okay. So the applicant can present their application.
Good afternoon. My name's Gregory Rush. I'm at 501 Metcalf Street. I'm proposing to take off the existing metal roof and come back with architectural shingles. Underneath the metal roof is cedar shingles, and that's what originally was there. So I'm kind of going back to the historic look of shingles, and the shingles need to be taken off, and a new sub deck needs to be put on, a plywood deck, before they could put the architectural shingles on. And so that's all going to be done. I'm requesting gutters along the porches of the front porch and the back porch and side porch. And that's all I was asking. And Brad has some pictures. Oh, I'm sorry. The front, I also want to extend, I have permission from you before to do a stoop, a 10x6 stoop over the, what would you call that, Brad? The side, front, it's over my kitchen door. And I would like to make a covered roof over that with columns that match the front of the porch that's existing, and do an A-frame roof line, kind of a V, but I have pictures of all that to show you. And I have a site plan and all that kind of stuff too that Brad could make show you.
Okay? If we can see that.
That is the letter that he had up. I don't know if he told you what that was. That was from my roofer explaining. You can't see it, so should I read it to you? I have it here if I could read it to you if you want me to.
No, I think most of us
Did he
got
show
it
it
in
to
the
you?
packet.
I'm sorry?
I've seen it, so
Oh,
I'm
good.
pretty sure we got it in
Okay,
the
got it in
packet.
the packet.
Right.
And I don't know if you have this in the packet as well.
Which question?
You were just showing the line drawing?
Yes, that's in the packet.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that? Can I explain it further? That shows you the new front porch on this.
Can you turn it 90
Can you
degrees?
turn it? Oh, there we go.
Is that what we asked about?
Much better.
Is that self-explanatory, or do you need some more clarification? So, right here would be the columns, and be the new roof line over the porch. That's already approved, the 10x6 porch. Since I'm doing a new roof, it's a good time to enhance the roof quality, to make a stronger entrance to match the front. Before, it was just going to be, there was going to be no roof over it, and this, I think, will delineate and be a nicer finish. And I have pictures of front porches in the area. Brad has pictures
So Gregory, if you don't mind, can you go through the materials that you're proposing
For the,
for the entrance canopy?
yeah, it'll be, columns match the front of the front porch, it'll be wood columns that turn,
Okay.
match the front. It'll be open with beadboard underneath the ceiling with, beadboard and just soffit around it, just simple columns. There'll be two columns and we'll attach to it.
So there's no material across the gable front?
No, that's open. And we have pictures of that too.
Do you want the pictures of this surrounding,
Yeah. So that's an example of one porch. That does have a covered area. You mentioned that mine will be open. It could be covered, but I just thought it would be cleaner to be open. That's semi-open with two columns. That's close as well. It's just a little stoop, 10 by 6. And like I said, the stoop's already been approved. We're just talking about covering it. That's another example in the neighborhood. Another example just down the street. That's on the same street. That's on the same street as well. It's on Broad Street.
What is the rough width?
It's 10 by 6.
10 by 6. 6
Yeah,
feet,
yeah,
6 feet
10
deep, 10 feet wide.
Yeah.
And that roof will also be shingled like the main house?
Excuse me?
That roof will also be shingled like the main house?
Yes, the whole house will be shingled. I have examples of the shingles. It's not the exact shingle. I have a picture of the basement.
Yes, if you can show us.
Again, I apologize.
So I didn't see a specific roof pitch in the application, but it looks like you're matching the rake that you're connecting to
Yes.
in terms of pitch.
And is that the color of what you're going to use?
This color, we have to choose color, but that's something I like to use, yes. Kind of a slate gray green color. And has wood tones in it as well. That's the front of my house. And the side addition is what we're talking about, making a cover. Area.
So I apologize for being pesky, but if we've got the open gable at the front, it's not clear what happens when you get to the eave of the existing house beneath the roof line of your canopy.
Let me see if I understand what you're talking about.
So in other words, I think I'm asking you to confirm for the record that even though you might have an open gable on the front, that when you get back to on top of the roof, we're not going to see the roof slope up above, but you're going to have a wall at the back, maybe, or maybe not.
I just want to make sure I understand it. It'll be a wraparound band around the whole triangle with the columns, and you
Yeah.
look up to the ceiling,
Right?
and all that will cover the
And-
beadboard.
So when we get up to the ridge and you go back,
Yes,
at some point you've got to connect with the existing sloped roof.
right.
Will we see the existing sloped
You'll
roof?
see a beam there covering that.
Right, but will we see the existing sloped roof underneath the canopy? Do you follow me?
I do follow you now. I know you won't see the box in it.
Okay. I think that was the right answer. I just wanted to pull it out of you for the record.
These are just some sugar roofs in the area. Just down the street.
What did you see?
That's my house.
The vertical?
It's around the block.
Looks like
And
This
where is
out
it that you're
towards
gonna put the
street.
gutters? You talked about gutters?
I can show you that.
What I was asking way back here, that where it connects to this wall, he's gonna have some.
Slope off naturally.
Up past
Factor.
Okay.
Which area have gutters. We can show you that picture. We can show that one, but that's a picture of the back. Thanks for understanding this.
And the reason for removing the tin?
I can't match it, and, doesn't have good ventilation, and I have to pull it all off anyways to redo new decking, and I want to go back with a shingle that, is easier for me to repair. And has the wood shingle look that was existing originally.
So I think you said there's shingles underneath the tin roof that's up there,
Yeah.
which was the original to the house.
Yeah, and I'm trying to resemble that.
Okay.
Architectural shingle.
Right.
It's in the drawing.
Just have it in the house. Now, you can show those for roofs. These are just small, shingle roofs in the area. Shingle roofs It's just across the street from my house. Across the street. I think you get the idea.
Yeah.
The primary question in the past for this situation was the repairability of the existing metal roof. Could you
Yeah.
address that?
I did address it with a letter from my roofer, and my insurance company addressed it, and it's not, you can't match it, and it has to be replaced.
And that was in the package?
Yeah.
We don't-
Yes, that was in the letter.
This is,
And he says it better than I do. That's the letter, yeah. Do you want me to read?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Here you go, sir.
oh, yeah, we thought it was.
It's easy to read that.
I think there's another page to this, but
Yes. It just says.
I don't know if it
regards.
says anything in the back.
Just says it's like.
Okay, that's fine. We evaluated the roof in light of damage experienced from the Hurricane Florence. Our recommendation is that the existing metal roof be removed along with the underlying cedar shake roof. The existing roof material has exceeded its expected service and is showing signs of severe rust and deterioration. See attached pictures. Additionally, the new roof decking should be applied once the new existing roof and the old cedar shake is removed, so that it's a solid deck and it will be placed as per manufacturer recommendations. And it shows the roof deterioration pictures of that. Do you want to see the house?
Is the insurance company paying for this?
They have recommended roof, yes.
Yeah, but are they paying for it?
Yes, partially.
I mean, I can find you a guy who can put that roof on there. It's no difference to you if they're paying for it, right?
It is a difference to me. Yeah, because that's. So you're asking where the gutters are?
Yes.
The front porch on the front and wrapping around the porch, and then that addition across the front of that, and then the other side is the same roof line on the back.
The
So I
addition, you're
guess-
talking to the part on the right?
Yes, it would be, okay, one minute. Be right there. And then on the front, right there. Of course, the back side of this addition as well.
Nothing on the upper level?
No, nothing, no.
Okay.
Just the deck, just the porch, just so when you walk in, it doesn't drop on your head, and you can direct the water away from the porch.
You know, a metal roof's gonna last 3 times as long as your shingles, right?
Maybe.
No, it does. And if you don't have to pay out of pocket for the difference, why wouldn't you want a roof that lasted 3 times as long and matched what ought to be in the historic district?
Well, I think the shingles were historic first.
Well, I don't want to be argumentative, and
I'm not trying to, but
Well, no, it's just me. You know, you've got an opportunity to have a hand seam metal roof that could be done by a local firm.
I can't afford to do that anyways. I mean,
Well, I thought the insurance company was
they don't
paying.
do enough to do all that. We do some.
All right, I'm gonna let it go. You sure it's damaged beyond repair?
Well, the insurance companies.
Yeah, but-
And two roofers out there, that's what I mean,
Well, two fiberglass asphalt shingle roofers told you that.
too,
Okay.
you know.
And so I'm just telling you, you could probably get out ahead and have something much better if you were so inclined.
The person who wrote the letter is a roofer.
Yes.
He's a
Certified,
shingle.
certified roofer. 30 years.
It's Mr. Kevin Griffin, owner of Storm Guard Roofing and Construction.
I have another letter from a roofer, and his letter's not as well written, but I could share that as well.
Nobody who does metal roofs.
Pardon?
I guess the question would be a
They
roofer.
do both metal and shingle. They both do.
Okay, does anybody else on the board have any questions at this point in time? Okay. So, is there anybody who was a notified proponent of this application who would like to speak or make any testimony? Seeing none, is there testimony from a notified opponent of this application who would like to speak? Seeing none. Are there any comments from anyone who has any relevant evidence and has standing who would like to make a comment? Seeing none. Would the HPC administrator provide staff findings and recommendations?
Sure. Staff submits the following historic district guidelines as appropriate to this application. Modifications 3.2.3, entrances 4.4.4 and 4.4.5. Statements of reason based on the information contained in the application and staff's judgment are: 1, the existing roof is damaged beyond practical repair. 2, the proposed roof extension over the front stoop is consistent with architectural elements found in the area. And 3, the proposed project is not incongruous with guidelines. Staff recommends the Commission approve the application for major exterior alterations at this time, citing the aforementioned guidelines.
Is there any evidence of testimony from any state, city, or government person? Seeing none. Does the applicant have any final comments that they would like to make? Does the commission members have any more discussion that they would like to have at this point in time? Hearing none. I call for a motion being made for the application.
Madam Chair, I move that we find the application for a certificate of appropriateness for 501 Metcalf Street to be in non-congruence with the New Bern City's Ordinance Section 15411 to 15429 and New Bern's Historical District Guidelines based on the following specific guidelines and finding of facts. Modifications 3.2.3, entrances 4.4.4, 4.4.5. The existing roof is damaged beyond practical repair. The proposed roof extensions over the front stoop is consistent with the architectural elements found in the area. 3, that the proposed project is not incongruous with the guidelines. And 4, that a letter from the roofer was submitted with the package.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
All right. Does everyone understand what the motion is? Okay.
No mention of the gutters in the motion. We need to add that.
Well, that's under. it'll
The
be under
application is what's been.
modifications.
You're voting to approve the you'll vote to approve the application or not. So anything included in the application will be
Okay.
approved. You can, if you feel more comfortable adding a specific guideline, you can.
That's fine. Could we, Jim, could we add guidelines for contemporary materials 5.5.1.3 and .6.
Okay, so add it.
To the use of asphalt shingles.
Okay, are we ready to take a vote? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Being none, the motion passes. Do we have a motion to issue a COA?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call for a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Seeing none, a COA can be given.
Thank you.
So item number B, 215 Pollock Street.
That, we voted to continue that already, sorry.
We have voted to continue that.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So, at this point in time, are there any general public comments that would like to be made by anyone? Hearing none and seeing none. Is there any old business?
There is no old business now.
No old business. Is there new business, sir?
There is no new business.
There is no new business. Does any commission members have anything they would like to bring up at this point in time? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Let us call for a vote. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned.